After all these years, Wicked is still as popular as ever, both on Broadway and on tour. And now the countdown is on to the theatrical release of Part 2, Wicked for Good. But back on Broadway, Allie Trimm helps lead the long-running musical. She's Glinda, and we had a chance to chat at the Skylark. I want to jump in because I feel like you have had an exciting year.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's go to where you were this week. This week, what did you do this week? It was 2 nights ago that you were at the premiere of Wicked?
The Wicked for Good had a private screening for the Broadway company of Wicked and like the original creative team of the Broadway performance, the original Broadway cast as well. So it was this huge group of people who, love Wicked for so many reasons to get together and celebrate and watch the new movie. So it was incredible.
What is it like to be next to all of them? They're icons. Like, this show has created icons, truly, of Wicked and just like in the world in general. What is it like to be there with the Kristen Chenoweths of the world and the Ariana Grandes of the world?
Oh my gosh, it's kind of surreal. Like, I just feel like I grew up watching this story and I grew up so impacted by this musical when I was really, really young. And so to be sitting and watching the movie and Stephen Schwartz is sitting right behind me. And like, at this point over the years with Wicked, I've performed with him at a lot of different events and it's just been really incredible to be like, oh my gosh, pinch me, I'm here, I'm a part of this right now. Like, I'm not just here watching through the window, I'm a part of this, and it feels like a huge honor, and I can't even believe it, really. And something else that's really cool, here I am just like rambling.
No, I love it. I love it. This is your time.
So I started out as the standby for Glinda. And when you are the standby or an understudy or an incoming member, you typically are using costume pieces that have been used by previous performers. So it wasn't until I started this full-time contract that I had costumes built for my own body from scratch. And before that, I was wearing costumes, and you can look at the history of tags. So I can see that I'm wearing, Megan Hilty's corset and Katie Rose Clark's Act 2 skirt and all of these different people's, the literal fabric that they embodied. Yeah, so there's like really a very tactical, real way of feeling a part of the lineage, and I think that's just so special and cool.
And you've had a full circle moment also with Ariana Grande, is that right?
Yeah. So we also grew up together. We both were in 13, the musical, Jason Robert Brown musical in 2008. We were teenagers together on Broadway, and then she's soaring as Glinda now, and I just got to see her in person and congratulate her and share in some of the excitement when we saw the movie.
It's exciting to see the movies and the audience it has created, and now generations.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
It's a whole new audience is coming into the show because it opened 22 years ago, and now with the movies coming out, I feel like there's such a wider net that Wicked can now reach. Worldwide, it's already had performances touring in every country, but it's so much more accessible now to anyone. And so people know the story, they know the characters, they're falling in love with it from a new starting point. So to be in the Broadway company now has been really interesting. Like, these new fans are coming in, and up until this month, they still might not know how it ends. There are thousands of people that are still every day coming to see the show live. And it's really cool. It shows me that, like, yes, people want to see Wicked in the movie form, and they can, but it's an extra additional thing to be in the live room where it's happening. And I think it's really beautiful to see people getting the story from all of these different modalities.
Is there one Glinda in particular you think that really has resonated with you or made a big difference on the Glinda you are today?
Yeah, so when I first saw Wicked, it was on tour, and I was maybe 11. I grew up in San Diego, so I saw it on tour in San Diego, and the cast that I saw was Kendra Cassabaum and Stephanie J. Block, and they were just so incredible. My mom tells me that I was sitting there like, jaw down the whole time, didn't blink. When I saw the show the first time, I did the stage door experience, and I took a picture with Kendra Cassabaum, and I wore my pink Popular shirt, and I saw them a year or so later, same cast, and I made a whole t-shirt. I I hand bedazzled the whole thing. It was like a whole arts and crafts moment, and I waited and I waited and I waited because I wanted to show Kendra Cassabaugh on my shirt. I wanted to say thank you to her again. And of course, you know, I know now that you really just can't always stage door, but as a child, I was like, we're waiting. She has to leave at some point. We're waiting. And my parents said, okay, we'll wait. And to cut to the chase, she did finally come out, and she saw that I had been waiting for her. And she said, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so sorry that I didn't know you were here. Let me make it up to you. And she took me backstage with a friend of mine, and she showed us behind the scenes. She Galindified us, and she put glitter on my eyes, and she let me hold her wand. And just, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm in Wicked right now, and I'm 11 years old. I'm like, I'm in it. This is what I want to do. And I was so impacted by her generosity with her time and her space and energy, and that has stuck with me throughout my whole life and my career in terms of what I want to bring to any place that I work, whether it's Wicked or elsewhere. But it's definitely stuck with me at Wicked, and for a long time we weren't allowed to do backstage tours because of COVID restrictions, and so I started making these little pink flower barrettes. And so if I did have the capacity to go to a stage door on a certain show, I would like put these little barrettes in little kids' hair as a way of kind of honoring that experience that I got as a child, and trying to keep that cycle moving forward as well, because it was just so special to me, and
it changed your life.
It changed my life. I was like, I'm gonna do that, and then I made sure that I was able to do it. So
have you ever connected with her again?
Yeah, actually, I don't remember what year it was, but maybe 10 years after that or so, we were both cast in a workshop of a musical where we were playing the same character at different stages of life.
Wow.
And I remember thinking like, whoa, this is a really cool full circle moment for me to be able to, I don't know, be near someone that was so influential for me. And then again now, you know, to be wearing the same crowns and singing in the same halls. So it's really special. And
that's like one of my favorite stories I think that I've heard. I mean, that really is like what one person can do to somebody's life.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. And yeah, so if you're watching this, thank you.